session on limit and continuity. Good morning. So in last lecture, we start our limit and continuity session. Limit, L is called limit of fx whenever x approaches to a, f of x approaches to L. So graphically, whenever x tends to a, f of x tends to L. Last lecture we see some examples and their solution. In this example, the left hand limit and right hand limit both are distinct. Then we see about epsilon delta definition of limit. That is, whenever for any epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 whenever x is lying between a minus delta to a plus delta, f of x is lying between L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon. A graphical representation of that one. For any x in the neighborhood a minus delta to a plus delta, the L lies in the neighborhood L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon. And some examples. How to decide the value of delta when f of x minus L contain terms of x. Then one-sided limit, that is left hand limit and right hand limit, and some examples on left hand limit and right hand limit. Some limit theorem, that is M and L are limits of fx and gx at a. Then limit of addition of function is limit is addition of limit. Subtraction of limit of subtraction of function is subtraction of limit. Limit of product of function is product of limits, and limits of division of two functions is division of their limits, provided that denominator never be 0. And the scalar multiple of function, that is limit of scalar multiplication of function, is simply a scalar multiple of limit. And limit of function to the power n is limit to the power n. And limit of constant is again constant. And limit of x is at a is a, and limit of x to the power n at a is a to the power n. And also limit of under root function is again under root of limit. These are two examples by using the rules: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Then we see about sandwich theorem, that is squeezing theorem. Whenever g of x is lying in between fx and hx, if fx and hx have same limit at a point, then g of x is also have that limit at a. That is, if limit of fx and hx is L at a, then limit of g of x is also L. And it is a counter example for the above sandwich theorem. Limit x tends to 0, x square sine pi by x. Okay, so that sine function is lying between -1 to +1. Hence, x square sine pi by x is also lying in between minus x square to plus x square. Okay, and limit of both x square and minus x square at 0 are 0, so that limit of x square sine pi by x is also 0 by using a sandwich theorem. Then we move towards a new term, which is continuity. Okay, a function f is continuous at a point x equal to a if the following are true. That is, first, f of a must be defined. For limit, this condition is not necessary. Means f of a may be defined or may not be defined. So that in 1 by x square at 0, function is not defined, but we can find a limit in the neighborhood of that one. So must condition is that f of a is defined, that is function must be defined at a limit of x tends to a, f of x exists. Exist means both left hand limit and right hand limit have some both left hand limit and right hand limit have finite value and similar. And next one is that the value or limiting value of fx at a is equal to value of function at a. That is, limit x tends to a, f of x is equal to f of a. Is that clear? Okay, three terminology are compulsory. Function must be defined at that point. Right hand limit and left hand limit both are finite and equivalent. And limiting value of function is equal to value of function at a point. That is, limit x tends to a, f of x is equal to f of a. So graphically, simply limiting value of a and the value of function are similar. आता कोणत्या पॉइंटवर फंक्शन डिस्कंटिन्युअस असू शकते ते पाहू. At which values of x is the given function is discontinuous? Suppose that function f of x is equal to x plus 2. Continuous everywhere, because whenever you substitute any value of x or any limiting value of x, you will get left hand limit and both right hand limit is equal to finite value. That is, suppose that if we consider x tends to 5, now from left side or from right side, x plus 2 is simply at 7, because when x tends to 5 from left side, it becomes x 5 plus 2, that is 7, and from right side again it is 5 plus 2, that is 7. So that fx is equal to x plus 2 is continuous everywhere. So that if we take any value, real number a, that is limit x tends to a, x plus 2 is equal to a plus 2. So limiting value of function is equal to value of function at that point. Means f of 5 is 7 and limiting value left hand limit and right hand limit at 5 is also 7. So that about continuous function. And now again this function is continuous everywhere, because numerator is continuous, because x square is continuous. So x square minus 9 is continuous. X plus 3 is continuous, that is x is continuous, so x plus 3 is continuous. But at x is equal to minus 3, denominator is 0 as well as numerator is 0. It means at 0 function is, sorry, at minus 3 function is not defined, so is not continuous at x is equal to minus 3, because at x equal to minus 3 we get undetermined coefficient. Okay, so that is g of minus 3 is not defined, so undefined, and hence function is discontinuous at that point. Next example. Now hx is given by x plus 2 if x is greater than 1, and 1 if x is less or equal to 1. So in this one we see from right side of 1 the value of function is x plus 2, and from left side of 1 its value is 1. So if we check from left side, that is whenever x tends to 1 from negative side, the value of hx is 1, so is equal to 1. And from right side, the value of function is x plus 2, so at 1 it is 1 plus 2, that is 3. Is that clear?
Yes.
So left hand limit and right hand limit both are distinct, so that function is not continuous.
Continuous.
Okay. Left hand limit is 1 and right hand limit is 3. So definition of continuity says that limit exists, it means left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. Here limit does not exist, so that h is not continuous at 1. But if we take any point greater than 1, then the value of function is x plus 2, and x plus 2 is continuous. And from any term or any number which is less than 1, the value of function is 1, and constant function is again a continuous. So h is continuous everywhere else other than 1. Okay. Graphical representation जर पाहिलं तर actually for less than 1 or less or equal to 1, the value of function is 1. So we get a straight line which is parallel to x-axis at y is equal to 1. Okay, and from greater than 1, the value of function is x plus 2. Okay, so at 1, one-sided limit is 1 and other side limit is 3. So that left hand limit is 1, right hand limit is 3. म्हणून आपला ग्राफ वर गेलेला आहे इथे. ओके
ओके.
इथेच फक्त कंटिन्युअस नाही, ऍक्च्युली काय होतं इथे, इथे हा ग्राफ ब्रेक होतो. इथे जे येलो लाईन आहे ते प्रेझेंट मध्ये नाही आहे समजा. ठीक आहे, म्हणजे आपला ग्राफ कुठून सुरू होते, इकडून येतो असा इथपर्यंत 1 पर्यंत, आणि मग पुन्हा 3 पासून सुरू होतो. The equation of this line is x plus 2. Okay, and another example. Fx is equal to -1 and 1. X is less or equal to 0, its value is -1, and for x is greater than 0, its value is +1. Now, for right hand limit, that is whenever x is greater than 0, So from right hand side of x, right hand side of 0, the value of function is 1, so its limit is 1. Okay, and from left hand limit of fx, that is from left hand side of 0, the value of function is -1, so its limit is -1. So again function is discontinuous at x is equal to 0, because left hand limit is -1 and right hand limit is +1. So again f is not continuous at x is equal to 0, and f is continuous everywhere else, because whenever the value of x is greater than 0, the value of function is 1 from left side as well as right side, and whenever x is less than 0, the value of function is -1 from any point less than 0. So again graphical representation of this one is x is less or equal to 0, the value of function is -1. So at -1 we get straight line, and again when x is greater than 0, the value of function is +1, so that we get this straight line, and the point that is in between this is not defined. That is from one point it is -1, and from other side it is +1. Okay. Continuous function. Two functions, simply addition of two continuous function is continuous. Subtraction of two continuous function is continuous. Multiplication of two continuous function is continuous, and division of two function is again continuous at a point if and only if denominator is never 0 at that point. Is that clear? So if f and g are continuous at x is equal to a, then fx plus gx, fx minus gx, fx into gx are continuous, as well as f upon g is also continuous if g of a is non-zero. So polynomial function is always continuous, because polynomial function contain only x, x square, x cube, x to the power 4, x to the power 5, and so on, so that function is always continuous. फक्त polynomial function असं आहे की जे कुठंच discontinuous राहत नाही. It is always continuous at every point of real number. And again rational function is continuous at every point x in its domain. Actually domain मध्ये म्हणजे काय, rational function मध्ये x आहे px upon qx, म्हणजे काय असलं पाहिजे, दोनही फंक्शन कंटिन्युअस असले पाहिजे. पण जर डिनॉमिनेटर कुठे जरी 0 वर असेल तर तिथे फंक्शन काय होईल, डिस्कंटिन्युअस. सो दॅट रॅशनल फंक्शन्स आर ऑल्सो कंटिन्युअस at every point of its domain. Domain का म्हटलं आहे, because function that is denominator must be defined at that domain. If denominator is 0 at any point, then function is not defined. त्यामुळे दोन्ही फंक्शन मध्ये एक फरक एवढा दिसते की y is continuous, that is polynomial function is always continuous, but rational function is continuous every point in its domain. Okay, here most term is domain in rational function, but polynomial function there is no restriction. Function may always continuous in every point. Intermediate value theorem, that is IVP or IVT. It is also known as intermediate value property, that is IVP. If f is continuous function on the closed interval AB and L is any number between f of A and f of B, then there is at least one number C in AB such that f of C is equal to L. that is simply if function is defined on any closed interval AB, then the function assumes every value in between f of A and f of B. Graphical. Suppose that it is your function y is equal to f of x, 2 points A, B. So it is your A, hence f of A. Point B and f of B. So whenever any number between f of A and f of B, we take L, which is any point in between f of A and f of B. We get a point in between A and B. That is simply this. For this L, we get a point in between A and B. Clear? So that function assumes every value in between f of A and f of B whenever it is continuous in closed interval AB. Okay. If interval is not closed, we cannot say it assumes every value in between f of A and f of B. कारण काय होऊ शकते, समजा क्लोज नाही आहे तर तो एंड पॉइंटला इन्फायनिटी वर जाऊ शकते. If we take tan x 0 to pi by 2, so at pi by 2 tan x is at infinity, so we cannot check points at infinity, so that this terminology must, that is function must be continuous in closed interval. Example, so given that fx it is given by 3x square minus twice x minus 5. We have to show that fx is or has solution, f of x is equal to 0 as a solution on the interval 1 to 2. Okay, that is simply we check the value of f of 1 and f of 2, the value of initial point and end point 1 and 2. So at 1 it is minus 4 and at 2 it is 3. Now we find a roots of fx. आता fx चे जर रूट पाहिलं तुम्ही तर काय दिसतील, काढून पहा बरं. fx is continuous polynomial since f of 1 is less than 0, f of 2 is greater than 0. By the IVP, there exists C on 1 to 2 such that f of C is equal to 0. Because theorem says that it assumes every value in between f of A to f of B. Okay, f of A is minus 4 and f of B is 3. So 0 is lying between minus 4 to 3. Okay, so we take 0. So for 0 there exists C in between 1 to 2 such that f of C is equal to 0. आणि हा पॉइंट सी काय आहे हे आपल्याला इथून माहित पडेल ना. फाइंड अ फॅक्टर्स ऑफ और सिंपली रूट्स ऑफ 3x square minus twice x minus 5. If you find a factor, you will get a root. Is there anyone who find the roots of fx equal to 0?
5 minus 3.
किती?
5 minus 3.
5 and minus 3.
9 minus 5 and 3.
Minus 5 plus 3.
Minus 5 and
Plus 3.
3. Oh. Not minus 3 and 5. It is 5 and 1 by 3. आहे कोणाचं फॅक्टर बरोबर करा or use minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon twice a. Three x and x. That is 3x square can be written as 3x and x. Okay, and again 5 can be written as, sorry, minus 5 can be written as 5 1. Okay, we need minus 2, so we take minus 5 and 1. So it is minus 5x plus 3x, that is minus 5x. So we get this value. So there are two factors, 3x and minus 5 and x plus 1. So the value of x is 5 by 3 and 5 upon 3 and x is equal to minus 1, that is minus 1. So these are two roots, 5 by 3 and minus 1. Now out of 5 by 3 and minus 1 is outside the interval 1 to 2 plus, but 5 by 3 obviously it is greater than 1 and is less than 2, because 5 by 3 is something 1.666. Is that clear?
Yes.
So that 5 by 3 is 1.666 and obviously 1.16 is lying between 1 and 2. So that we get there exists a c which is lying between 1 to 2 such that f of c is equal to 0. That is f of 5 by 3 is equal to 0. Next, limits at infinity. Please do not write on the PPT. Okay. So limit at infinity for all n greater than 0. Limit x tends to infinity, 1 by x to the power n, and limit of x tends to minus infinity of 1 upon x to the power n. Both are 0. Is that clear? When x tends to infinity, 1 by x tends to 0. So that 1 by x to the power n is also tends to 0. So 1 by 0 tends to infinity. Sorry, 1 by 0 tends to 0. Sorry, 1 by infinity tends to 0. Provided that x to the power n is defined, because it is not defined at 0. So we take n greater than 0 and x must be lying in between minus infinity to infinity, but except at 0. So second example, x tends to infinity. So if we take direct substitutely x tends to infinity, then numerator is 0, or sorry, infinity, as well as denominator is also infinity, because 3 times infinity is again infinity. So infinity plus any terms is again infinity, and in denominator 2 minus 4x square, again at infinity it is infinite. So it is infinite upon infinite format. So function is not defined. So firstly we write function as, means simply we take x square common from numerator as well as from denominator. So that we get limit x tends to infinity, 3 plus 5 by x plus 1 by x square divided by 2 by x square minus 4. When x tends to infinity, 5 by x tends to 0. and 1 by x square again tends to 0, and 2 by x square is again 0, so that here we divided by x square, or simply take x square common and cancel. Applying limit to all the terms. Okay, constant, limit of constant is always constant. So when x tends to infinity, 3 becomes 3 as well. 5 by x tends to 0, 1 by x square tends to 0, 2 by x square tends to 0, and again 4 is constant. So limit of 4 is again 4. So 3 by minus 4, that is minus 3 by 4. Clear? Now, second example. Again, take x cube common and cancel, or simply divided by x cube. Apply the limit. So again here, 3 by x tends to 0, 2 by x cube tends to 0, 1 by x tends to 0, 100 by x square tends to 0, and 1 by x cube is also tends to 0. So that remaining term is 2 in numerator and 1 in denominator. All the other terms will be vanishes. So that result is 2. Again, next example. Again, divided by x cube and simplification. In numerator, every term tends to 0. So 0 upon denominator 7 plus all the terms vanishes, that is tends to 0. So that 0 by 7, it means 0. Again, next example. That is again divided by x. Now here we see x, limit extends to infinity. Whenever we get by x, we get x plus 2 minus 4 by x plus upon 12 plus 31 by x. Now whenever x tends to infinity, in numerator 4 by x tends to 0, 2 tends to 2, but x tends to infinity. So in this one, infinity, that is x tends to infinity, plus 2 plus 4 by x, that is its limit is 0, divided by 12 plus 31 by x, again its limit is 0, that is simply 12. So we get infinity plus 2, that is again infinite. Infinite upon any term is again infinite. So we get infinity. So in second example, limit at infinity is 0, that is x tends to infinity, the limit of function is 0. So it is called finite limit at infinity. And in second example, limit is infinite as well as point is at also infinity. So infinite limit at infinite point. And fourth example, again we simplify it by multiply and divided by conjugate of x square under root of x square plus 1 plus x, multiply, divide, simplify, and again we get 0. Also, infinite limit is point is finite and we get infinite limit. In previous example, point is at infinity and we get either finite limit or infinite limit. Now point is finite or simply infinite limit. Here x tends to a 1 by x minus 8 to the power n is again infinite. That is from left right side of a, we get 1 upon 0 and it is again infinity. And if n is even, then again right hand limit, left hand limit is also infinity. And if is n is odd, then we get minus infinity. It is depending upon the value of a. Okay. For x from positive sign, this term x minus a, then a is positive, x minus a is positive. Okay, so limiting value is plus infinity. If from negative side, we get negative term because x is small and a is greater, so that we get negative term in the this bracket. And power n, now depending upon power n, if power is positive, that is even, then negative to the power, and again it is negative if its power is odd number. So power of odd power of negative is again negative, so we get minus infinity. Now, there are some 1 or 2 examples. Limit at 0 from positive side, we get infinite limit at 0. From positive side of 3, we get minus infinity. Positive side of minus 3. And some limit of trigonometric functions, sin x and cos x. We know that sin x and cos x are always continuous functions. So sin x and cos x both are continuous and everywhere continuous. At any point, its limiting value is value at that point. And for tan and cot, or tan and sec, at pi by 2 or minus plus pi by 2 or minus pi by 2, the value of tan is infinity. Okay, tan pi by 2 is infinity, tan minus pi by 2 is minus infinity. Tan that is from one sided limit, from left hand side of pi by 2, the value of tan is infinity, and from right side of pi by 2, its value is minus infinity. So that tan x is discontinuous at pi by 2, minus pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, minus 3 pi by 2, and so on. Because period of tan is pi, and period of sec is twice pi. So that sin 0, 0, so sec 0, infinity. Sorry, cos pi by 2 is 0, so that sec pi by 2 is infinity. इधर पास pi by 2 और sec infinity और चल रहा है. These are some examples. That is sec. Again, from one side it is minus infinity, and from another side it is plus infinity. Because in graph we can easily see here, this is our pi by 2, and from this side, that is from left side, we goes to plus infinity, and from this side, that is from right hand side, we goes to minus infinity. So left hand limit of sec at pi by 2 is plus infinity, and right hand limit is minus infinity. This is this होता है right hand limit minus infinity, left hand limit plus infinity. Again tan left hand right limit. Similarly for cot, we know that tan pi by 4 is 1. Cot again at pi, it is infinity and minus infinity. So from left side, the value of cot is minus infinity, and from right side it is plus infinity. Okay, at minus 3 pi by 2, the value of cot again can be written as cos upon sine, and sine minus 3 pi by 2 is 1, cos minus 3 pi by 2 is 0, so that we get 0. Okay. A to the power x and a to the power x. Both are defined for a is greater than 0 and a is lying between 0 to 1. Okay, both graph of a to the power a depending upon a. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask, or you can ask tomorrow as well.